Well, hello, Radiant Church. This is Pastor Jeremy coming to you with a 5-minute devotional from Psalm 30, verse 11 and 12, which says, "You have turned for me my mourning into dancing. You have loosed my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness, that my glory may sing your praise and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever." This is an amazing thing that David's talking about here. He's saying that his mourning, which means that literally describes the behavior of one at a funeral procession. And there's wailing, there's anguish, there's gut-wrenching agony that the person is expressing to anyone who will hear because of the sadness of the one that had died. And he says that you've turned that kind of anguish, the worst kind of wailing you can imagine, not just into a smooth mood, but into dancing. And whenever I read this psalm, I think of a story from a pastor friend of mine who, when he first came to Christ, he misread this. He thought mourning meant, when the rooster crowed and it was time to get up. And so he would get up each day, and the first thing he'd do is he'd jump right out of bed and start dancing around his bedroom. Well, that's not the kind of mourning it's talking about, right? It's talking about, again, being filled with this anguish and this gloom. And God turns that, though, into dancing. And when it says to dance, it means to dance in a circle, which is referring to not just someone dancing like no one's looking, it's referring to dancing with others. Imagine when you go to a wedding, and at the reception, they open up the dance floor, and it's flooded with people ready to celebrate the wedding. They have something to dance about, and every face is filled with a smile. People are jumping, they're jiving, they're having a good time. David said his anguish turned to that. Imagine the best party you've ever been to. This is what God is talking about, and it dispels one of the misconceptions about Christianity, that it's just a ho-hum kind of affair. It's not filled with feasting and dancing and joy. No, God invites us into a feast. And in fact, when he says he was clothed with sackcloth and now he's clothed with gladness, that's talking about this transition where you're covered in sackcloth. When you were sad and you were wailing and mourning, you'd wear this rough, abrasive material that they used for sacks. You'd wear it. And the pain of it was meant to accentuate and remind you of the pain you felt inside. And he says, God has taken that away, and instead, he's given me gladness, which meant a joyful banquet. It's a party. He calls us in to a feast. And it says that we glory, and we will glory forever. And that refers to the depth of praise. This is not just a passing moment. This is the kind of jubilation that'll last forever and ever and ever. I want to read this quote from Samuel Rutherford, where he says, "When we shall come home and enter into the possession of our brother's fair kingdom, and when our heads shall find the weight of the eternal crown of glory, then we shall look back to pains and sufferings, and then we will see life and sorrow to be less than one step or stride from a prison to glory. Our little inch of time, suffering, is not worthy of our first night's welcome home to heaven. Oh, what then shall be the weight of every one of Christ's kisses? How weighty and of what worth shall every one of Christ's love smiles be? Oh, when once he shall thrust a wearied traveler's head between his blessed arms, the poor soul will think one kiss of Christ has fully paid him back for 40 or 50 years' wet feet and all its sore hearts." The thanksgiving that God invites us into is not just a passing song, but it's just one verse of a song that will go on forever. So give it a try. Join in and give thanks to the Lord today, remembering that this is just one verse in a forever song that he has given you because of the gospel. Blessings on you.